Let's talk about something we all struggle with, procrastination. Today we're going to break down a deceptively simple trick that can help you get started on, well, just about anything. And it all begins with a feeling I bet you know all too well.
Oh, that feeling. Does this sound familiar? I mean, you've got the task, you've got the time, you might even want to get it done, but it's like there's this invisible wall, right? You're just stuck. It is so frustrating, it's almost paralyzing, and I think every single one of us has been there. So, what's the deal? Why is it so incredibly hard to just begin? You know, it's not because you're lazy, and it's definitely not about a lack of willpower. The real answer is actually a lot more interesting, and it has everything to do with how our brains are wired.
Yeah, this is what I call the procrastination trap. And the key to getting out of it isn't about trying to force yourself or push harder. It's about figuring out why that very first step, just starting, feels like trying to lift something impossibly heavy.
And here it is. This is the big insight that changes the entire game. We think we're putting off the work itself, the report, the workout, cleaning the kitchen, but we're not. What we're actually avoiding is the feeling that comes with it. That sense of overwhelm, the anxiety, the pressure for it to be perfect.
This lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got what we think our brain hates, the task. But on the right, that's the real culprit, the feeling of being totally overwhelmed. Your brain is literally designed to steer clear of negative feelings and things it sees as a threat, and a giant messy task definitely feels like a threat.
So, how do we get around our own biology? Well, the solution came from a little personal experiment, one that was really born out of pure desperation, and it led to this amazing breakthrough.
Okay, so picture this. It is late at night, there's a huge exam tomorrow, the books are open, the computer's on, everything is perfectly set up for you to be productive, and nothing. Just that familiar, frozen feeling. And in that moment, I made a new kind of deal with myself.
This was it. This was the bargain. Not an hour of studying, not even 20 minutes, just 5. And the most important part of this whole deal was that last bit. I can quit, no guilt. By giving myself a totally easy out, all the pressure just vanished, and suddenly starting didn't seem so heavy anymore.
5. Just 5. That single, totally unintimidating number is the whole key. It's a commitment so small that your brain has absolutely no reason to fight back against it. And that, my friends, is the secret behind the 5-minute rule. So here's the official definition. The 5-minute rule is not about finishing anything. It is only, exclusively, about starting. You just commit to 5 minutes, and this is crucial. You have to give yourself genuine, total permission to walk away when that timer goes off. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. It sounds simple, maybe a little too simple to actually work. But trust me, there is some fascinating psychology going on under the hood that makes this little trick so powerful. Let's look at what's really happening inside your brain. When you think about a huge project, like writing a 20-page paper, your brain can see that as a threat. It actually triggers a tiny fight or flight response. And when it comes to procrastination, our response is almost always flight. We avoid it, we run away by scrolling on our phones or doing literally anything else.
But what about just writing for 5 minutes? Your brain looks at that and just kind of shrugs. It thinks, that's nothing. I can totally handle that. It feels safe. It doesn't set off any alarm bells. So that resistance to getting started just melts away.
And here's where the magic kicks in. As soon as you start, as soon as you make even the tiniest bit of progress, your brain gives you a little hit of dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical, the one tied to reward and motivation. You get a reward not for finishing, but just for making a little progress. That little hit of dopamine feels good, right? So your brain wants more of it. And this creates this awesome positive feedback loop. That good feeling builds momentum, and that momentum is what carries you way past that 5-minute mark, often without you even trying to force it. So, how do we take this idea and turn it into a practical daily playbook? Let's break down exactly how to use this rule in real-life situations to actually get stuff done. You can use this for anything. Instead of, I have to study for 3 hours, it's just, I'll open the book for 5 minutes. Instead of, I have to clean this whole disaster of a kitchen, it's, I'll just clean one corner for 5 minutes. You lower the barrier to entry so much that it almost feels easier to just do it than to not.
Now listen up, because this is so important. This is the #1 mistake people make. They treat it like a clever trick. They say, it's only 5 minutes. But in the back of their mind, they're really thinking, but I have to work for an hour after this. That totally defeats the purpose.
The real magic, the secret sauce of this rule, is the genuine, honest-to-goodness permission you give yourself to stop. That's what removes all the pressure. You have to remember, if you stop after 5 minutes, you didn't fail. You actually succeeded. You showed up, and that is the win.
All right, enough theory. The only way you're going to see if this really works is to put it into action. So let's make this real. I've got a simple challenge for you to try tonight.
That's it. It's that simple. 3 steps. Don't overthink it. Just pick that one thing that's been nagging at you, set a timer on your phone, and just begin. That is all there is to it.
And as you do this, remember the core idea. There is absolutely no pressure here. No expectations for it to be perfect or for you to even be productive. Just give yourself 5 minutes.
I want to leave you with this final thought, because it really flips our whole idea of productivity upside down. We spend so much of our lives waiting to feel motivated so we can start. But this rule teaches us that we've got it completely backwards. You don't wait for motivation. You create it by starting. Action creates momentum, and that momentum is what builds motivation. Give it a shot. You might be amazed at what 5 minutes can do.